At this time, I'd like to call up our amazing chairman, Mr. Tom Shabilla of Luzerne County Democratic Party, and my vice chair, Mr. Tony Brzia.
Well, thank you for coming out to this event on a Sunday morning. I know it's beautiful out, and there's a million things that we could be doing, but we are here to support Fern and all our amazing Democratic candidates this year. And every year I say it, and every year it becomes more and more true that this is the election to be involved in. This election is, well, quite frankly, democracy is on the table. All right. If we screw this up, we may not have democracy next year. That's just the way it is. And thankfully, we have amazing candidates like Fern on the ballot. We have amazing candidates like Senator Casey. We have amazing candidates like Joe Biden on the ticket that are here to defend democracy. This is not a Democratic thing. This is not a Republican thing. This is an American thing. And we're here in a VFW or Legion. I don't want to screw it up. American Legion. There we go. We are here in American Legion. And there are people that sacrificed their lives for this country. And I think the least that we could do is vote for this country. So, thank you everybody for coming out and supporting our candidates. And I'll give it to Tony.
My vice chair and I, Tony Brzia and myself, are very proud today to endorse our very own 5th District member for many years, Ms. Fern Lurd. Anybody who knows Fern knows how hard she works every day. And in my opinion, I'm so grateful. She's won the primary. She's ready for the general. She's the most qualified candidate for that seat, by the way. And we're just proud of her, and we thank her for running for the seat, and we look forward to seeing her take the seat in November. Okay, I forgot her, I'm sorry. And if anybody gets a chance, could they please buy a raffle ticket for the basket of cheer in the back? They're $5 a piece, I believe.
Only $5.
Okay, thank you, Ruth. Last thing I need to do, I want to introduce our Master of Ceremonies today, who is an amazing man, and he really helps out everybody in every circumstance. Mr. Mayor Jeff Coslett.
Good morning, everybody. First and foremost, I want to explain my itinerary. This was done by a host of women, and I knew better than to argue with this, so bear with me as I go through this. First and foremost, as the mayor of Kinston, I am very proud now to announce my endorsement for Fern Lurd. Fern is a proven leader. Her tenacity is what I am so impressed with. When she wants something, she goes after it, and nothing's going to get in her way. So I think absolutely she'll be the ideal candidate for the 120th district. So congratulations to you. Wish you the best of luck. Now, at this time, I'm going to introduce someone who I think is really a super person. She is Matt Cartwright's right-hand lady, I should say. Unfortunately, Matt couldn't make it today, but Colleen is dedicated her life to Matt Cartwright's overall success. She is his right-hand girl. No doubt about it. I've worked with her since I became mayor a lot. She's helped Kinston quite a bit. Her hard work, her dedication, and committed to they don't go unnoticed. We all know she is the driving force behind Matt with every win. So please help me welcome Colleen Garrity.
Okay, wow. Thank you so much, Mayor. Very nice words. But like everyone else here, I just love our congressman. And when I was asked to come work for him in 2017, the story behind that was he called me to ask me to come to his house with my husband to have dessert and coffee with him and his wife Marion. And I was like, oh my God, what's the congressman want me at his house for? Did I do something wrong? But he asked me to come work for him, and it was an honor. I was working as the deputy recorder of deeds in Lackawanna County for a very long time, and I loved my job there, loved it. So I had to go home and be quiet about it because nobody knew this yet, and talk to my family, and it took a little bit to figure it out. But I was truly honored because the congressman is such an honest, down-to-earth, caring person, and for him to ask me to come work for him, I really was honored. So, and I have worked with the mayor one-on-one. I work on the official side of Matt's office, but I also am his campaign manager. And I love the mayor. He just says it like it is. We communicate very well together. He gets the job done in Kinston and gets the job done with my office. So thank you so much for those kind words. And thank you to the 5th District for letting me speak. I'm so sorry Congressman had a personal engagement today, so he couldn't be with you. So I'm honored to be here on his behalf. And I know you all know him. I know you all know what he stands for, protecting our veterans, our seniors, women, bringing back good paying jobs here, union jobs, with the infrastructure bill and everything we can do with that. He also supports our police, firefighters, EMS. Funding for the police is very important to him these days to keep our communities safe, and with the opioid crisis and stuff like that, really protecting our children and stuff like that. But the congressman serves right now on the appropriations, one of the appropriations committees. Eddie's shaking his head because he knows how important it is. So when he first got elected, the Democrats had the advantage in the House of Representatives. So he was the chair, the top guy on that committee. And he has planned this, like the mayor said, kiss babies and hug women. He has planned this by out there in Congress really getting to know both the Republicans and Democrats in the House of Representatives so he can be elected to this. So he wasn't kissing babies out there either, but he was shaking hands and working well with Republicans as well so he can get elected to this position. When he served as chair, he controls, well, at that time, $70 billion and how it's spent through the government. Right now, he's the top-ranking Democrat to that committee, and now he's in charge of spending $80 billion and where that goes. So the Republicans right now have the House. So he's the ranking Democrat. But he wanted to get there, just like Flood in the day, just like McDade in the day, because northeastern Pennsylvania needed somebody high up in the House of Representatives to be able to bring back those federal dollars here to northeastern Pennsylvania. So he's made his way up there. He's not going anywhere. But I can tell you on the campaign side, if you haven't been seeing this in local papers or on local news yet, it's all over the national news, that he is one of the top 5 targeted Democrats in the country. They are coming after him again. If Matt Cartwright loses this, you can guarantee that the Democrats will not regain the House of Representatives. It's all on Matt's shoulders and our shoulders. He needs to win this, and then there's a chance of taking back the House. So he can be that top Democrat, the chair of that Appropriations Committee, because people are gaining, like Kinston of Mayor, we're working on that right now for him, gaining funding to help with what he needs in his community. And when Matt was the top chair, there was more money that came back here. There's still money coming back, but it's less because he's not the top chair. So, top target, the Congressional Leadership Fund, the Republicans just announced like a week ago, they have tripled the spending that they spent last cycle on against Matt Cartwright. So now they have tripled what they're gonna spend against him. That's a scary thing. Even like former elected officials are coming up to me going, wow, that's a lot of money. So Matt knows what you guys do. He's so appreciative of the phone bankers, the text messages, the canvassing, getting out the vote, working the polls. And I think some of you have spoken to a gentleman in Lackawanna County who does a great job of getting those mail-in ballots back in Lackawanna County. And that's what we need to concentrate a little bit more here in Luzerne. Because the Republicans now want to push their people to do mail-in ballots because they see how much it's worked for the Democrats. And one of those reasons it works is because we know when those mail-in ballots are returned. We're all checking. Megan, Fern, Eddie, all of the campaigns are checking when they're coming in. Then we get lists of who's not mailing them back yet and who may not make it to the polls to vote. So it's important for us in Luzerne to track those mail-in ballots, to get on the phone. I mean, it was like 7 days out last cycle. And there's one gentleman who canvasses all the time for the congressman in Lackawanna County. He's like, why am I going to the doors to ask them to go vote because they never returned their mail-in ballot or because there was a problem on their mail-in ballot? Get to your election office and sign your name, you forgot. He felt weird doing it, but he told me the story afterwards that this older woman was hugging him at her door saying, thank you so much for telling me there was a problem with my mail-in ballot. He couldn't drive her down to the election office, but he called our team. We picked her up. We took her down. So it works. Mail-in ballots work, and they mostly work for Democrats. So I hope I didn't extend my time. I'm talking a lot. But I am just proud of the congressman. I'm proud of the work he does for us. We need to reelect him. And with Thomas Dowling, and we all know Thomas, the organizing director that we love for the congressman's campaign, he is working with all of the state rep candidates, Fern, Megan, Eddie Day, in all of our 5 counties. Because it's going to be important for Biden and Casey to win with us. But it's going to be important that this down ballot works. These communities know all of you. So if we can get them out to vote to their mail-in ballots, at the end we can get that GOTV and they're going to all come out for Biden, Casey, Eddie Day, Fern, Matt, Megan, all of them. So I think having a good ground game, because you guys were really a part of Matt winning last cycle. I don't know if everybody knows, but he only won by 2.4%. That's a big difference from the cycle before. That's only 7,000 votes. If you think about that, that's not a lot. So they're after him again. They're tripling the funding against him. So we need to get the work done. And you all know it here because you're all doing it. So we so appreciate it. The congressman sends his best. So thank you all for allowing me to speak.
So the first thing I'd like to do is again show you my agenda. And it says right here, each speaker is allotted 5 minutes. Thank you, Colleen. But being that all those women, and I didn't have to give her the universal enough, I hope none of them are, they're happy with me that I didn't cut Colleen off. It's all right, don't worry about it. Now, at this time, I don't see Marty Flynn in the room. I don't think Marty made it. Unfortunately, he was going to be delayed.
He's
But-
delayed.
Okay, thank you.
He'll be here though.
Okay, yes, I know that. But Marty was born and raised in Scranton, PA. Marty began his political career in 2013 and has been driving force on various committees, helping to bring real change to Northeast region. Unfortunately, I can't introduce him right now, but he will be here. I believe at this time, we're running a little bit faster than we thought we would. I would like to introduce one person who is really instrumental in Kinston. She's a Democratic, she's a councilwoman, phenomenal person, extremely smart. She is my political date. My wife doesn't go with me to political things, but I asked Kate to go with me, and she's right on it. She's with her. So, Kate McMahon, would you please stand up? Kate's amazing. She, like I did, went door to door in Kinston. She's a driving force now with Doug Rush also, who unfortunately couldn't be here, in what we're doing here in Kinston and progressing like we are. Again, with the help of Colin Garrity and everybody else who jumps in to help us. It's a privilege to know that the help is there and that we're doing everything we can for this party, and hopefully to keep the Democrats moving up the ladder a little bit in Kinston, more on council. Also, I'd like to thank Ronnie Good, Marianne Velez. They both are my contact people that when I need a question asked or I need to get yelled at, Ronnie and Marianne are the two that I call. They are both instrumental in what I do and with my success so far in 3 years as the mayor. I guess I should announce that we should eat now. Okay. Yes, everybody seems to be hungry. Oh, also one more thing, which I find funny. Every time I'm invited to something, Eddie Day Pashinsky and Matt Cartwright are invited. And every time Matt Cartwright and Eddie Day Pashinsky get to speak before I do. So today, Eddie Day Pashinsky and Matt Cartwright, if you can hear me, today is my turn to speak first. Okay, this is even better. Now I see Marty Flynn has arrived. I have already gave you kudos. So if you would please help me welcome Marty Flynn to the mic. Sorry, my friend, I didn't give you a chance to take a breath.
Be here.
How are you, buddy?
Good. Great to be here in Kinston on this beautiful Sunday morning. I don't know if you guys are ready to go here. We have a big election, just a little bit of a big election coming up in November. But, coming down here thinking about what I was going to speak about. You guys are the troops are on the ground, and we have to give our pitch every election cycle about things that have to be done. And one thing that jumped out at me is, unless you're making $250,000 a year, you really have no business being a Republican or even thinking about being a Republican. And for some reason that just jumped, like I could see if you have like tons of money, and you identify with that, but everything else is just gaslighting basically and politics to make people, just bring out their inner insecurities about the other people that they live around and their idea of what America should be, like what this country should be. But if you go back and look at our history, we have everything, and it's really important, like at this moment, we have everything because of the way our system worked, for better or for worse, But you look and see what's going on right now with former President Trump, the system, the way it works, the way you're judged by your peers, for better or for worse. There's a system that's in place, okay? And if that system doesn't work, what will we have? Nobody could say that. And to see the other side just clamp down and just want to be students of whatever the other side does, that's scary, for better or for worse. And when I look at it, I have friends on both sides of the aisle. I have super, super conservative friends that are as right wing as you could possibly be. But all that's gone if this happens in this manner, and all of the politics that have happened over the past. I'd say probably the closest we ever got to it falling apart was probably the McCarthy era in the 50s. You know, where it got very scary at times, but I think we're at a moment right now that if we don't do our due diligence as Democrats and bring people back into the fold, you know, a lot of people complain and say, oh, all they care about is minorities. They don't talk to white working class people anymore. We have to do that because that's who we are for the most part up here. We can't forget about our brothers and sisters that are different than us, but we have to tell them and explain to them, because critical thought is being lost right now. It's not taught anymore. Everybody's on their phone looking at memes all day. You know what I mean? There's a lack of people questioning information. So you have to like hit that light bulb on people that don't identify with you and tell them like, yo, these people don't give a shit about you. They don't care about you. They want you to work for them. They want you to work for them making $7 an hour. And if it could be less than that, it would be. And the only party that truly believes in the right to bargain and the right to have a fair day's pay is a Democratic Party. Period. And you see that right now in the PA Senate. They won't run any bills. They're taking the labor bills, and instead of giving them the labor committee, they're giving them to the state government committee because they don't want the pro-labor Republican chairman to have to deal with these issues. Okay, so it's just a matter of educating and letting everybody know who has your best interest at heart, and Democrats do. We care about bringing people up, and we're a big tent party, and all they are is this, and all they are is that. All they care about is the elite. There are elite people in the Democratic Party, but guess what? That's part of having everybody in the tent. But the reality is we care about helping people. We care about bringing everybody's life to a better place. And Republicans don't. They care about money, period. Year in and year out, they prove it. You know what I mean? And now even that is going away. Now they're just getting in line to do whatever the Supreme Court or the former president says. That's scary. So I just wanted to give you guys my take on things and hope you guys reset yourselves and get focused on winning elections, because that's what matters right now. Winning elections in our area, Democratic elections, getting Matt Cartwright reelected, getting Senator Casey reelected, getting Fern Lurd elected. These are the things that matter in this area because it all trickles down into a potion that wins, you know, and then you have women's rights on the line. That's another thing. You know, we talk about this party of freedom. They're the party of freedom. They're taking a lot of rights away from people for a party of freedom. So, you know, we really have to start to recalculate the messaging and stay focused on that and educate people on the issues. And I think we'll be all right, and we'll stop the bleeding down here in Luzerne County and bring people back into the fold. As long as we work together, that's the most important part. You know what I mean? You can not like someone's politics. You can not like someone. But guess what? We're on the same team. You know what I mean? I was on a championship high school football team. I didn't like a lot of kids on my team. They didn't like me on the team, some of them. But guess what? We're on a team together. And we have to win. And it's about winning. It's not about being right. That's the problem Democrats have historically. They want to be right all the time. It's about winning. And that's all Republicans care about. And that's all they do is win usually. And that's what we have to stop. Okay? So let's get motivated and get things done. Thank you.
You know, I have to say, one of the highlights for me doing this is when Marty Flynn is in the room, well-spoken, great job, and Eddie Depashinsky. These two guys I love to listen to talk because they're always on point. They are so pro-Democrat And I just think it's great to hear them speak, and I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you. I wish you would have took a little bit more time. Colleen took like 22 minutes. You still had another, Marty, you still had another 17 minutes before we eat. But right now, according to this agenda made by a lot of women, it says everyone will begin to eat. So enjoy your breakfast. I'd like to throw a shout out to Patty Krishnowski. She's here. I know we already did. Patty is one of our county council members, and we all wish you the best of luck. Okay, according to my 2-page itinerary, it is now time for me to announce the big cheese who's here today. Again, Fern Lard is running for the PA 120th House District. Fern currently serves on the Luzerne County Democratic Commission and is committed to using her experience to serve the people in her district. Please help me welcome Fern Lard.
Thank you, Mayor Coslett, for the wonderful introduction and for your support. I truly appreciate it. Good morning, everyone, or at least I hope it's a good morning. Now that we've had time to eat, I bet it's a lot better. I appreciate you guys coming out. It's always lovely to see familiar faces and some new ones. As you have heard already, we were successful in our primary, and we are looking forward to flipping this seat back to blue where it belongs. And we will just continue to fight for what's right. We're gonna fight against price gouging. We're gonna work state and federal to help lower prices for everybody. And we're gonna fight to keep our rights intact. They're coming after our reproductive health care, and that's a big problem. And we need to work harder to enshrine and protect our right to an abortion and our right to reproductive care into the Pennsylvania Constitution. Because once we do that, we're never gonna have to worry about them ripping it from our hands again. And I don't want to take up too much of your time. You guys all come out to Democratic events, which means you've heard our speeches a million times over, and they are the same because our message is a good one. Because we work for the people, and that hasn't changed in decades, and it's not going to change now. And I look forward to serving this district as state representative, and we're going to keep fighting the good fight. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, dear, very much. Colleen, I want you to take a lesson from Fern there, okay? I can't help it. Which, Ed, just so you know, I didn't do this itinerary. You're last. I don't know why. For some reason, it might have been that you're in Kinston now, so you don't trump me this time. I'm just kidding, buddy. At this time, I'd like to introduce Megan Coker. Megan is running for the PA 119th House District. Megan has experienced the challenges that average people face and understands the work needed to positively impact her district. Please help me welcome Megan.
That's a little tall. All right. Hi, everybody. I want to start by thanking the 5th District for hosting this absolutely lovely event and working so hard to put the Democratic Party back on the map in Luzerne County, despite me not belonging to the 5th District. Everybody's been so welcoming. Everybody's been willing to jump in and help whenever I've needed it. And I just want to say I appreciate you all endlessly. So I want to use this opportunity today to talk about a personal experience that I've been dealing with throughout the past couple of weeks. So as some of you may have heard, I recently found out that I have skin cancer. This was definitely something that I didn't expect at 25 years old. And I just want everybody to know that despite the circumstances, I'm feeling absolutely wonderful. I had it removed on Tuesday, and I don't need any further treatment. So I honestly could not ask for better circumstances. When I just Thank you. When I decided to run for office, I had no clue that this was an issue that I was going to end up facing. But this experience has informed my views of our healthcare system so significantly that I couldn't come to the legislative breakfast and not talk about it. When I noticed I had a spot that I thought I should get checked out, my first thought was, why should I go to the doctor and waste a bunch of money to be told that everything is okay? Because I truly thought that everything, would be okay. I didn't want a $100+ bill for no reason. Thankfully, my husband, Joe, was adamant that he wanted me to go to the doctor and he wanted me to do it now. And I was so surprised at how quickly things moved from there. The doctors who assisted me in this process were absolutely wonderful, and I'm eternally grateful that they were so quick in handling the situation with compassion, honestly. Having said that, I have to recognize the issues that I saw up close with our healthcare system. Thankfully, I have insurance. I was able to be seen quickly, and I was able to get the issue treated. And despite having very good health insurance, I still owe thousands of dollars for having received this absolutely necessary medical care. I can't imagine what I would have done if I didn't have health insurance. What I would have done is I wouldn't have went to the doctors, and I wouldn't have been able to get the issue treated. Times are tough. Nobody can afford a multi-$1,000 bill when you're struggling to feed your family and put gas on your car. Because that's what we do with gas. Put gas in your car. I was very lucky that we caught this early and that I'm able to move on with my life for the most part, because too many people are not that lucky. I've been canvassing in Luzerne County for many years as a community organizer. I've met people who are struggling to afford their medications, oftentimes having to go without it. People who will be in debt for the rest of their lives because of the necessary medical care that they had to receive. We been talking with people who were forced out of their homes, and it's an issue. We need real healthcare reform. We need somebody to we need to elect more people who truly understand the issues and care to do the work to address them. I'm running on several other important issues, as we all know: fully funding our schools, fighting corporate greed, standing up for women's rights. Everybody says this, but it's true, so I'm going to say it again. This is one of the most important elections of our lifetime. We need to do the work. Every election this year is important, but I'd argue some of the most important are our Pennsylvania state elections. We need more people in Harrisburg who understand the realities that working class families are facing in 2024. We need people who are actually going to fight for us. I just beat skin cancer, and I'm more confident than ever that I'm the person to do that, to go and take on Harrisburg on behalf of the 119th. So I just want to say thank you to everybody, and just a reminder, wear sunblock. I'm only 25 years old and dealt with this situation. Nothing is worth risking your health. Definitely a tan is, and so thank you all for listening to me today and for having me.
Megan, we all wish you the best of luck, obviously. Joe, great job for making her. Oh, you're not Joe, I bet, are you? I am Joe. Okay, Joe, all right. Well, whoever you are, thanks for helping her out. We appreciate that very much. Well, without further ado, my friend, Eddie Dapashinsky. Please welcome Eddie. Now, you were a little premature on getting up there, because I have to say some more words about you. Somebody said you wrote this too, so I'm not sure. Eddie is running for re-election in the PA House of Representatives to represent District 121. Eddie is dedicated, passionate, and committed to serving the constituents in his district. Please help me welcome now Representative Eddie Dapashinsky to give closing remarks.
How about a big round of applause for our master of ceremony, Mayor Cosman? Fantastic. How about another round of applause for Kate, because you have to put up with the mayor every day, right? Oh, I love it. 5th District, you guys have done a great job. I want to recognize a few folks because your efforts are key in preserving all the things we need to preserve, and we'll talk about them. First of all, where's our Roxanne? Roxanne, our chair. Tony Perzia. Tony, our vice chair. Ruth. There's Ruth. Guarantees. Cindy. Is Cindy here today? No, Cindy's not here today as our secretary. I'm not a member of the 5th District. I'm a member of the 6th District, but I know all these folks for so many years, and I thank you very much. You're the heart and soul of what is needed in order to protect our democracy, your freedoms. I also want to definitely give another shout out to Mayor Coslett. He's done a great job. He's been a great friend, and he does a wonderful job in Kinston. Mayor, thank you so very much. How about our Colin Garrity? Huh? I think Matt would be very, very proud of you. And the work, it's more than a friendship. This is kind of like family because of the time that we spend together on the road, dealing with issues, dealing with the folks, and it becomes a family. I have the greatest admiration for Colleen, of course, and her husband, Mike. Appreciate all that they do. And of course, for our great congressman, and I mean that sincerely, Matt Cartwright. And a point that I want to make is whether it's Bob Casey, Matt Cartwright, Jimmy Haddock, Senator Flynn, all of us, we work together, Mayor Coslett, Mayor Brown, for the betterment of northeastern Pennsylvania. It's that connectivity. And that leads me into the fact that I want to focus in on a couple things, but before I do, I just want to remember Fernlerd and Megan. Great job to both of you. We have two great candidates there. They are committed. They work hard. They're very capable, and they're going to play a major role in all of this. And the reason I say that to you is because I'm going to give you the finger, one. This finger. I'm giving you this finger. What do I mean, one? In the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, we have 102 Democrats and 101 Republicans. It's only one vote. That's the importance of every single vote. Nobody stays home. But that one vote gave us the majority. What does that mean? We passed over 300 bills. Even though they said Eddie Day and Jimmy Haddock are lazy, they don't do anything. We passed over 300 bills from the House of Representatives over to the Senate. The Senate, I think, passed 30, some of which were theirs, because we got to make a deal to try to get them to pass some of ours. Those 300 bills would have never seen the light of day if we were in the minority. I want to tell you something else. Property taxes. Have you heard that? How many times have we as representatives and senators heard, please reduce my property tax? In the state of Pennsylvania, the Senate has been controlled by the Republicans for 30 years. Did you hear me? 30 years. They could have reduced your property taxes 30 years ago, 25 years ago, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. They haven't. Your vote is the critical part of America. The senator brought out so many important points. The points were, we are who we are because of our democracy. What is that? Of, by, and for the people. Of, by, and for the people. Your vote elects me and my fellow colleagues to do your work. That's why that connectivity is so important. And as Megan said, as Fern said, as Senator said, as Colleen said, what's the Democratic Party? What's it all about? Fern, what's it all about? It's about you. How did America become the wealthiest, most powerful nation in the entire world? Because it gave every kid the chance to become whoever you want to be in this democracy. Your public education gives every kid, no matter what side of the track you come from, the chance to learn, grow, and become whoever you want to be. That's why America does so well. You know, many of your European countries, only the wealthy kid got educated so they could control the business, while you, the poor kid, would work in that business. And if you didn't like it, what's the word? Get out. Thank God for our unions. If we didn't have unions, you wouldn't have the middle class. Now, let me be clear. There are wonderful people on the other side, too. We're all Americans, okay? We should work together for the betterment of our country, for the betterment of our communities, our state, our families. And by the way, our journey to this point has always had problems, hasn't it? Whether it's wars, famine. But when we come together, when we realize the importance of our future, our kids' future, we can do anything. Got it? Now we have major obstacles to overcome. One is some guy that is doing it for the country. Some guy that is always being assaulted, being unfairly treated. Some guy who's a billionaire and still asking for your money. Never thought I'd see this. Never thought in a million years I'd see this. I never thought that our democracy would be in jeopardy and that our children's futures would be negatively affected. Never. This is not just a normal election. The things I talked about before was about our living, quality of life, the things that we need. We still need that. But if we lose our democracy to that guy, I hesitate to think of the horrific things that will occur. We must search for the truth, search for the facts, and please let the truth and the facts guide our words and our actions. The truth is on our side. Are Democrats perfect? No way. No way. Anybody out there perfect? No, as a human being, we're not perfect. But our education, the families that we came from, taught us what? Love, kindness, working together, doing the right thing, trying to help one another. You know why? Because someday, each and every one of us need help. Someday, each and every one of us need that health benefit. We need that family structure to help us survive, to help us grow in the challenges of life. We are living. That is a gift. It's our responsibility to do the right things. It's our responsibility to to pick up the mantle, no matter how heavy it is, no matter how hard it is, and do the right thing. We got to get our families to make sure they get out and vote. We got to do everything we can for this election, from President Biden, Bob Casey, Matt Cartwright, Marty Flynn, Jimmy Haddock, Fern Lurd, Megan Coker, and me. We need all of you out there. And we need you also to stand up for this thing called democracy. Yes, we all have our opinions. You have the truth and the facts on your side. We saw January 6th, did we not, on television? What are you missing then? If you saw it on January 6th on television, how horrified we were, how disgusted we were, how could this be happening in the United States of America? But you know what's worse? When we have people that put their hands on a Bible and take the oath, I do solemnly swear to serve, protect, and defend the Constitution, so help me. And then to turn around and manipulate what we saw and say it didn't happen, that was just a tourism. And that was just tourism. How many of those policemen were hurt, killed, etc.? How many events continued on because of what transpired? This is not the normal Republican Party. I have Republican friends. I have Republican colleagues. Our purpose is to work together for the betterment of all. That's not who the Republican Party is. That's a MAGA party. I don't know who they are. They're insurrectionists, that's who they are. And they are not following the law. And let me say one last thing to you. Ronnie, the rule of law. The rule of law. That's the only thing that keeps us safe and civil. You don't have the rule of law. You don't have punishment. You don't have consequences. People do whatever they want. Just like before we had rule of law. Whoever had the biggest army just did whatever the heck they wanted. They took whatever they wanted when they wanted it. Because there was no rule of, they were the law. And they certainly had no compassion. And they certainly had no sense of humanity. So there's a great deal at stake. And I say to you, it is an absolute honor to serve. Honor. I'll fight to my dying day. We can't let this happen. Got it? You got it? Are you ready? Yeah. I said, are you ready? Yeah. Come on, I want to hear you. Are you ready? Yeah. That's what it's going to take. Thank you so very much. God bless you. God bless the United States. Freedom.
As I stated earlier, he is a joy to hear speak. He truly is. This concludes our program for today. Again, thank you all for coming. I want to thank the atrium. The food was fantastic. And I'm a breakfast guy, but my wife said I wasn't allowed to have 2 plates for fear I would spill something on myself. I would have liked having more. But again, I would be remiss not to say something that the late Jim Haggerty used to say about Kinston and our employees. But in this room, Jim referred to people that were special as the best of the best. And obviously, that shows it in this room and the support that we have for our party. It's appreciated very much. So I want to thank the ladies that put all this together. This was fantastic for our first one. Hopefully in 4 years, I'll still be here. and we'll be doing this again. I am not for hire, just so you know. This is something new to me. If I can ad lib and do what I'm doing right now, I'm good. And not that I'm saying I didn't love your agenda, because I did. I'm taking this home, putting this in my office for next time I do this. But again, I want to thank everybody for being here.
Thank you all.
I want to thank everybody who is Eddie Day Pashinsky. I love Marty Flynn, Matt Cartwright. Colleen's giving me the cutoff. Oh, the American Legion, yes, absolutely. Mark Price, who did a lot of this. Mark is a great guy. I went to school with him. What?
Another woman telling you what to say.
Excuse me, but next one, Colleen Garrity is not coming. Just telling you right now. If it's Matt, it's nobody. According to my nice watch, we still have a half hour. And I want to thank Becky for all her hard work here. She busted her hump to help us. Roxanne, fabulous woman. She also works her tail off for this, for everybody. Ronnie Good again, Marianne Velez. I'm going to miss some of you because some of you I don't know. So to all the women, the lady in the red hair is giving me the eye. Her too. I know enough to thank you very much. You're scaring me, so thank you. But again, thank you. This was great. I enjoyed this thoroughly. Welcome to Kinston. It's a great place to call home. We're very proud of this town. We work diligently to do the best for our residents. And I've said this from the day I took over. My phone is always on. My door is always open. So if you need anything, I'm proud to say that the 2,491 phone calls I've gotten, I've returned most of them. Some of them, God bless you. Some of them, some people I can help, some people I don't have an answer for, but I will call you back no matter what. So please, again, welcome to Kinston. Thank you very much for this honor. I really had a good time, and I'm not doing it ever again, but I really had a great time. Again, everybody have a safe day, and go Democrats. Thank you.